So what up, football fans? I'd like to introduce some of my friends, the game changers from the Sim Standard, and let them weigh in on their Sim perspective review for NCAA Football 14.
What's good, people? SimFballCritic here on behalf of the Sim Standard, and we're here to talk about the most important aspect of any football game, and that is the gameplay. In NCAA 14, the first thing that you will notice is the improvements in locomotion and hard cuts. You now have the ability to make cuts with the left analog stick simply by changing direction. In addition to that, you have real acceleration and deceleration, which allows you to add momentum into the running game, which gives it a more realistic and authentic feel. Physics has also been introduced to the NCAA football series with the Infinity Engine 2.0. Now, the Infinity Engine 2.0 is a more refined and a more clean version of the physics than what we saw in Madden 13. With it being more clean and having subtle changes, you'll see a more organic and realistic outcome in regards to the physics. Blocking has also been improved in this year's game. The linemen have a new targeting system which allow them to block downfield, block the right guy most of the time, and also allow them to change their path based on the path of the ball carrier. Now, last but not least, the biggest change, one of the biggest things we've been waiting for, is the trenches. You can now have an actual trench battle in an EA Sports football game. The combination of the new defensive lineman moves along with the improved footwork mechanics by the O-line will give you a trench battle like you've never seen before in this series. Now, it's not perfect. It's definitely a work in progress, but it's a great step and a great step in the right direction. Now, along with pros comes cons. There's still areas of concern in this game. The force impact system doesn't always play out accordingly. There are animations that still seem to not be able to be interrupted, particularly with stiff arms. There still isn't any real DB and wideout interactions, and zone coverage has been improved, but guys still don't play beyond their zone areas. So there's a lot of times where you'll see guys, where they could pick up someone else, but they don't because they're locked into their zone. As well as the total control passing, that has been improved, but you still don't have any full control over the ball placement. Double team pass blocking is still not in the game, even though at times you will see something that resembles it. It's not real double team pass blocking, but the good news is we know that it is coming in the next generation, so that does give us something to look forward to. Hard cuts have been added, but it doesn't completely eliminate the sliding and weird player movement. One of the biggest eyesores would be quarterbacks. When you see them rolling out to their opposite side, it still just looks crazy and it's just not a realistic movement, so it's just not a good look. But overall, I think NCAA 14 is a solid game to end this console generation as far as the NCAA series. I think this game is a building block to show us the direction of EA Sports football, as well as set a foundation for the future. Now, everything that has been added as far as the pros are a great start. Again, it's not perfect, but it's a great start and allowing us to see where we're going to go in the future. For the most part, this game plays very well, and it seems to have more pros than cons, at least at this point. So time will tell if that remains to be true.
What's going on, everyone? This is Smitty here, and I'm here talking about the in-game presentation elements for NCAA Football 14. Now, the intros to the different games or what have you are a very nice touch, even though those intros will get worn out very quickly, and you'll have a lot of people that'll start mashing A to skip right to the coin toss. It is a nice element to see them bring into the game to add that level of realism and anticipation to start the game. That is something to give credit and give merit to, as well as the different cutscenes or the vignettes that were added in as well to keep everything in the relative flow of the game post play, whether it's a sack, whether it's a completed catch or a run or a touchdown. To have all these different scenes to keep it brings like a storyboard type element to every drive or what have you that goes on, and having the stat overlays brought up accordingly, and sometimes with the commentary cues, it definitely goes hand in hand. So that is very, very well put together. Now, where the ball was dropped completely was the halftime show. That was very high anticipated. by many people, including ourselves, and very much was a letdown. Especially seeing that you had a game that was in a previous generation and is 9 years old in NFL 2K5, and you can even fast forward up to 2007 with APF, as well as even present day with NBA 2K13, and to see that you have halftime shows and that are second to none, hands down, the best you're going to get to television quality presentations or station quality presentations. And this is something that EA must, and I'll repeat once again, must get right going into the next generation, and it must come forth. The change definitely has to be there, because these games once again still set and still uphold that standard and excellence in regards of these quality presentations for games that are no longer in production and out of print. So overall, EA definitely has to, they're taking some baby steps, but they definitely have to step their weight way up and get into that heavyweight division if they expect to knock it out the park with the quality of presentation that you see from games like the NFL 2Ks in comparison to what you see with Sony with MLB The Show. So there is a lot that I definitely am expecting moving forward when it comes to the next gen sports titles.
Azure here on behalf of the Sim Standard and the Sim Perspective, and we're giving our review on NCAA 14, the retail version, and this dropped on July 9th, 2013. So right out the gate, man, the gameplay is the the hot topic button, and I think they did a great job this year with gameplay. It's not perfect. You'll never get a perfect game. I always say this. There'll never be a perfect game because you don't have perfect people. And imperfect people cannot make a perfect product. So you have to basically get on your horse and ride it. So if one of your things that you weren't purchasing NCAA in the past was left stick and player movement, hard cuts, those things have been added. So you are kind of in heaven. If you're one of the people who preferred presentation and wanted to see NFL 2K5 type presentation, then you're kind of disappointed, and you're looking forward to next gen Madden and whatever football titles come for the next generation of consoles. But to be honest, and in my honest opinion, this is the best football game EA has put out on this generation of consoles, and that's a good thing. We're moving in the right direction, but at the same time, there's still work to be done. There's uninterruptible animation still plaguing the game. So going into next gen, if there is another NCAA title, we have to see these things addressed. And it's not only that, but more issues as well. In my opinion, NCAA's crowning jewel is and always will be Dynasty mode, online Dynasty, offline Dynasty. And this year they've taken some steps to improve and streamline recruiting and make things easier and more user-friendly menus and all that jazz. So shout out to the NCAA team, to me operating in their strength with upgrades to the Dynasty mode on NCAA 14. When it comes down to it, if I had to give this game a grade on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest number that you can get, I would have to give this game a 7.7 out of 10. I think there's still work to be done going into next gen. Animations cannot dictate so much as we see in this game. Animations still kind of dictate, and sometimes you even see the physics engine weight not mattering. So going into next gen, if we get another NCAA title, I'd like to see weight matter. Everything that they talked about with the Ignite engine going into Madden 25, FIFA 14, and UFC, and just their sports games in general. I guess it's a cross-platform engine with the Ignite engine, and so if NCAA is picked up and does appear on next generation, we have to see those things addressed because there's still some issues with this game, but it is a fun game to play. I've played NCAA 14 much longer than I played NCAA 13, and it's looking like a title that I might want to hold on to, but we'll see, as the months come, because once next generation football hits, I'm pretty sure that everybody will migrate over. So best football game, NCAA game, because Madden has not dropped yet, and we'll give a final verdict on that once we get our hands on that. But best EA football game to date, with a 7.7 out of 10 for NCAA 14.